What's up, everybody? Welcome to Vibes Up Podcast. That's where we speak positivity and listen to what people have going on positive in their life and see what Billy has to say. Go ahead, Billy. Introduce yourself. Tell everybody where you're from again.
I'm Billy from Mutation Creation all the way up in Canada. So,
Ooh.
yep.
Hey, is it snowing out there yet?
No,
Oh.
no, man. Maybe way up north. I don't think yet, but yeah, no. We have great weather right now. Like I'm sitting out on the deck. I'm in shorts and my USR shirt, but it's like 28 Celsius, which I don't know what that works out to Fahrenheit, but it's a nice day here, man.
Awesome.
So hopefully not snow for at least another 2 or 3 months.
Hey, you moved shops, huh?
What's that?
You moved from your other shop?
Yep. So I was looking around and I saw something. I'm about 2.5 hours away, 2.5 hours, depending, away from the old facility, out of the city. I'm in a smaller town. I love it. It's I wish I did it sooner, but I wouldn't have got this property if I did. So I'm really excited and happy. And the move is over and done with. I've been here for almost 2.5 months. So everything's almost settled in. Not me yet, but, the animals are almost settled in. I'm almost settled in. And, it's like anything. You do something, you make a change. You got to wait and see what type of effects happen because of that change. And, so far I've had a few little hiccups, but it's definitely worth it. And, once I settle in and the animals settle in, it's just going to be incredible.
Is it bigger than your old place?
Kind of. So the other place was 3,000 square feet, and this is almost 4,000 square feet. But I'm using the lower level because it's a building. It's a commercial building that the bottom is going to be. It's about 1940 or 1960. So almost 2,000 square feet. That's the facility. It's got 10-foot ceilings as well. And then upstairs, I've got the same. It's almost like identical mirrored duplicate of the downstairs. Almost 2,000 square feet. And I got 12-foot ceilings upstairs, which I'm converting into my living space. So I just blew out these windows. So that's a 9-foot door. So the patio doors, and I built this deck. This is like a 10 by 50-foot deck. And then next week I got the jacuzzi coming. And then the week after, all the new furniture, outdoor furniture, and a cedar barrel sauna at the back. So I'm utilizing a lot of the space and a lot of time and all of this for me, because it's turn 55 and I'm always going to be hyper. I'm always going to be excited. I'm always going to do what I do. But now it's like, you know what? I want to sort of, I want to tone it down a little. I want to enjoy things. I want to be able to, instead of go 180 all the time, maybe bring it down to 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do it now.
Yeah. So, but I love it that, I got constant renovations going on downstairs. The other place I did more of like a facility where people would come over. At the front, I had like a lounge. At the back, it was like my breeding facility. I had separate rooms, had all designer paint done and glass walls. Here, I just left everything open concept. The only thing I've done downstairs, because I wanted to move all the animals as quick as possible, was epoxy the floor. So I did the same sort of flake epoxy flooring in the basement. And then I moved the animals in. Now I'm working on the plumbing to get all the hoses and everything in place. And then I'm going to be doing the walls in it's called truss core. It's like a white and gray, but I'm going to use white. It's like a PVC thick wall. So then that way it's great. It never, doesn't mold. No, it doesn't, take humidity in. You can wash it, wipe it. You don't need to be painted. Just nice and simple. And then once I do that, it'll really make a big change to the downstairs. But
Oh, that's
yeah,
gonna look beautiful.
it's
What
coming.
his so does this floor when you walk in has your logo on the floor too?
No, I never had the logo on the floor.
Oh,
I
I
was
thought you
always
did at
going
the other
to.
place.
No, I have the logos everywhere else, but not the floor. The
Okay.
reason being is I was going to. I've seen some people do it. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But if I ever wanted to, get rid of the place, or like at the old place that I used to rent, if I had that there, they could technically make me put the floor back to the way I originally got it. And that's the thing, when you lease from some, depending on how your lease is, if you make major modifications to a building, and if the owner of the building or your landlord doesn't like it at the end, he can
Mhm.
actually request for you to put it back the way it was. So for me, everything I did was an upgrade to the building, where anything with a logo or anything that was attached to MC, I could just take off the wall and leave.
Oh, okay. I see
Sticker,
what you're saying.
yeah, and most of the stuff too, and I've learned this from the past. If you're going to design anything, because way back in the day, I used to have tattoo and clothing stores. And I used to have guys come in and graffiti and make all this amazing artwork on the walls. But then when I moved, guess what? That beautiful mural I can't take because it's on the drywall. So anything I do now, if it's a mural or I put it on a backing, so I can actually take it and move it if I want. If I want to change it around or switch it out for a different logo, or I can. So here I just sort of did it basic. I'm not going to probably have as many people coming
Mhm.
to this facility as the other one was, because I was so 11 minutes from the airport, 20 minutes from the CRBE, and here I just did it where, it doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be, the floor to me is something that I always want to have the best right off the start, because once you move the animals in, you really can't do much with the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That's
I did the epoxy flooring
Mhm.
because it's built to last. It's built forever. And I figured that's the first thing I did. And the only thing I did differently from the old facility is I changed the color a little. I made it a little darker compared to the more white in it, because especially with the cocoa and you walking, you can sort of see, and instead of, trying to mop it every night to make it look as beautiful as it should be, I just leave it for like a week or two, and it's like you can see where everybody walks and the most path traveled, because everybody walks. So it's always dirtier in that area. But then when you just put some hot water on it and just give it a little soak, and then once you go back over it, it comes up like it was brand new, like the day I put it in. So instead of having that, I made it a little darker.
That'll be nice for when people walk in. They'll be like, "Oh, this is a really nice place."
Yeah, well, I mean, most people when they walk into a facility, they don't look at the floor and they don't look up. They look at the racks and they want to see what's in the racks, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
What?
because of you, you have people. You inspire people that want to do the same.
I hope so. That's one thing I try to do with, I haven't really put a lot of YouTube up. I am working on a few different pieces, and I am going to start getting that up. I just got to make more time. But I definitely want to inspire people. I mean, one of the reasons why I follow so many people, because I get inspiration from others. And if I can take that inspiration from others and I can inspire others or lead them a proper way or give them advice or explain why I do things a certain way, and especially let people know there's more than one way to do things.
Yeah,
There's no right or wrong. It depends where you are. There's so many factors. But I do like to be positive and inspire people if possible.
true. So So Billy, I understand that Mutant Creation was a platform for ball python breeding content
Mhm.
out,
Yes.
but with your, with your wit and your charisma, you enhanced it so it was more entertaining. Um,
Well,
so
some people think it's entertaining. Sometimes it's like, we're just being ourselves, right?
yeah.
You know, and it's funny because it's almost like, so many people are entertained with what we
Mhm.
do on camera. I mean, if we had people following us around all the time, it'd probably be more even because the stuff that goes on with Austin and I back in the day and everybody else and some of the funny things that happen, it's just like, man, I wish we got this stuff on camera because this would be really cool. But, we just try to be ourselves, put out content and, um, inspire people, give them tips or,
Mhm.
and I want to get back to that. Like I want to start doing, and I'm going to do that here soon. Because I remember not so much at the old facility. I did it a few times, but at the old facility, the one from like 6 years back plus, I used to go around almost every 2 weeks and it's like, hey, everybody, Instagram live. And I would just walk around and hey, man, do you have any of these? And I'd walk over to tubs and open them up. And, I'd answer questions or a YouTube live or something. I mean, I miss stuff like that. And I think I want to start getting, more into that. But the thing is, you need time, right? Like
Mhm.
it's so hard to make time and do things when you have a workload up to here. It's hard to fit anything else in. And I don't want to not do something just to put a video out. I'd rather, take care of my business first and make the
Mhm.
time. So now when I add a video or do something like a live stream, it feels good because I have that extra time and I'm trying to make time. Like I'm trying to do a lot of things here. Um, and a lot of changes and everything's doing well. All the changes I've made and the changes that I'm starting to make, it's all working, and making me feel better.
I remember when you used to like do the open the packages and you get like shirts and shout out everybody on the shirts too.
Yeah, I mean, Mail Mondays. I do have about 20 packages from the old facility from like a year ago that I have. First, I got to find them. I kept them all in a box, when I shipped everything and packed everything,
Mhm.
and moved. I do have maybe even two. Two. I went up and got some shipping crates, right? And I just ended up packing them and closing them. And I'm like, oh my God, here's a box. Here's a box. Here's some stuff. Here's some stuff. Here you go. And I'm like, I got to do a damn video. So one, I got to find the time. And two, I got to find someone to hold the camera on the other end because I'm all alone here. And then Jeff, he's my main guy. He comes up for like
Hmm.
3 or 4 days every 2 weeks. And, even when he's here, it's not like there's nothing to do. There was some other stuff that we wanted to do. And he's like, hey, man, you need some. I'm like, it's about a 2 or 3 hour job. I'll get it done over the next few days. Pack up and head home, right? Enjoy, get home early, enjoy tomorrow and the weekend, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. So, the last thing I want to do after 3 or 4 days of getting everything up and cleaned and watered and fed is, hey, let's do 2 hours or 3 hours or something else. And then let's hold the camera and do a video, So it's really hard to try to, find time to do everything. And one thing I'm doing is scaling down because I don't want to hire a bunch of, new staff. I do have myself and Jeff, and I do have one other person part-time. I may have another part-time person, but I just want to scale it down and enjoy everything. Like I'm not on a mission to do how I did things in the past. So
Yeah. Today's everything is moving so quickly as well.
yeah. And I don't know. I'm just taking a different view. And what's good about it, I am making decisions now based on how I feel and what I want to do. I've never done what I've done. I've always done what you've seen, you know, keep
Mhm.
growing and going and this and that and
Yeah.
being where I was. And I don't regret any of it. But now, you know, it's like, what do I want to do right now? You know, do I want to work, you know, 16, 17 hours a day and doing content and this and this and this? Or do I want to sort of take some time for myself and enjoy, you know, enjoy the stuff? I take a long walks with my dog. You know, I right now I enjoy a coffee. I'll come out and have a coffee and I'll sit down and relax. Where before it was take a sip, do something. Where's my coffee? Oh, it's on the rack. Have another sip and answer the phone. Or, you know, now it's I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing it differently, and I like it. Like, you know, I still feel wound up and go, but I it's not like that from, you know, morning to night. I do take breaks, and it's almost to the fact where now or to the point where I take a break and I'm like, wow, this is nice. It's like, you know what? I don't really want to get up, but I gotta. It's like, oh, wow, you know,
Yeah.
I've always been like full throttle. And now it's like, you know, it's go, then I stop, then it's like, okay, so um, I'm getting a lot of scheduling in too, where I want certain things done on certain days, and it makes it easier for me to know what gets done and what needs to get done, and I sort of get a timeline. And but I definitely love the move. You know, I think it's, you know, best for myself, and owning the building is even better, right? So now anything that I do and modify, it's not wasted, and being able to, you know, have a you know, beautiful place above my business is even better.
Yeah. Would you say your perspective changed from past 5 years till now?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, um, you know, there's a lot of things that I want to do, and I haven't been able to do because of you know, the animals. The animals always come first. You know, there's things where it's like I want to do this, but I can't because I have to do this, and even having my dog now for the last, you know, almost year and a half. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I can't because I can't take her with me. It's like, oh, so, you know, it's like when you have kids, right? Oh, I'm free and young. I can do whatever I want. I can go anywhere, stay where I want. You know, I can come in whenever I want and do what I want. Once you have a kid, oh, I got to be there because I have to feed the child. I got to take care of it. I got to watch the child. I got to get it up and ready for school, or, you know, I mean, there's responsibilities. And when you take on anything, any animals or anything like that, those responsibilities don't just go and come and go when you want them. They're there all the time, and you got to work around those responsibilities. So when you get into this, especially when you get big, you know, the responsibility is even more. Like, you know, when I wanted to go away, and I haven't traveled in the last year. The last time I went away was last October, November, to Europe to see my friend Jean-Francois. And you know, I wanted to go on a couple, you know, little trips, but with the move, with the dog, and you know, and especially now it's like, you know, to go away for a week, you have to have, you know, people in place to, you know, make sure that the animals are taken care of and the routine and the schedules stay pretty much the way they are. So now I'm trying to do it where it's not so much, you know, I don't want to be, you know, as big as I was. And now I'm concentrating more on bigger projects instead of, and I basically, from the move to here, I think I've downsized 5 racks, and now I want to downsize another 6. And at that point, it's like I've got rid of some projects that I don't want. There's a few things that I want to pursue, and if I'm trying to get more time, and I'm trying to make it easier for myself, the only way that I can make that time is to have less time putting into animals and stuff like that. And you know, I'm trying to think right now. I've got 8 8 and 6 is 14, 18. I mean, I still got 27, 28 racks. You know, it's not like, oh, you know, he's downsizing. Yes, I got 28 racks. I want to downsize to maybe 22 racks.
And
You
still,
know?
it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, like, you know, what's going on with Billy's, you know, downsizing. Yeah, I got 20. I had 30 something. Now I'm down to 27 or 28. Now I want to get down to 22. I still have 20 racks, you know, so my downsizing might be something that you know, somebody watches like, I'll never even get to 10 racks. Holy shit, this guy's a monster. Yeah. So, you know, but then I could do this and say, you know what? Nah, you know what? I'm bored. You know, there's only so much sitting on my ass out here that I can do. You know what? Let's get 4 more racks and fill them, and let's go back to, let's up it up again. You never know. I'm going to, you know, but right now I'm in that mode where I'm happy where I'm at. My time is very valuable. And I instead of putting myself and getting into animals and cleaning animals and feeding the animals and all that stuff, I'd rather put some of that time into more YouTube videos and doing some other things. So it's not like I'm getting my time back to just chill and do nothing. It's going to be put into other areas that makes me happy. So,
and you brought up a good point. Yeah, you brought up a good point when it comes to, for the newbies that are just getting in started with taking care of like multiple animals, is they want to get the animal, they want to have it ready and stuff like that, but are you thinking about the time where you want to go on vacation? Are you thinking about, oh, I need to find a babysitter, oh, I need to make sure everything is set in place before I go on vacation? So not only are you pre-planning, you have your priorities. They have to get that straight before you get these animals.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people ask us like, hey, how'd your season go? I had 85 clutches and I stopped pairing back in May. So if anything got a lock or two, that's it, because I stopped pairing. I stopped ultrasounding. Now that the animals have been here for a few months, they're settling in. They're back on food. They're all eating. You know, I got the temps and the humidity levels where I want it, you know, to where I'm happy. You can never dial everything in 100%. So if you get to 80 or 90, you should be happy with that, right? So I'm very happy with where it is. Okay. So now in the next couple of weeks, once I find some time, I'm going to start ultrasounding again. So my goal is by the end of September. So October, first week or sooner. Then I'll start ultrasounding and seeing where they're at. And then now I'll start that new cycle. So the last four months or so that I haven't bred or paired is sort of like, and this is something else that you got to realize when you move or you do something. I didn't want to move and have animals grab it. And, you know, the last thing I want to do is start putting eggs away every other day when I'm trying to, you know, get the whole place and move the animals in and you know, there's so much work and renovations to do. And then, oh, now I got all these eggs to put away and egg cutting. And now I got to take care of all these extra animals on top of all this stuff. I realized like, hey, you know, I'm moving at the end of June. So, the end of June, early July. So let's stop pairing in May and let's just see it. And now that I've got them all settled in and they're being fed and everything is pretty much, you know, the way I feel almost settled in to where I'm comfortable, where in another couple of weeks, I'll find time to ultrasound. And then I can start pairing in October, November, and start getting some eggs dropping in, you know, December, January, February of next year and go from there. So, you know, sometimes when you move, you know, I'm going to lose half my season. Yeah, well, it's a choice you got to make, but it's definitely something that, you know, the benefit of me having this place and, you know, being where I'm at, it's a small price to pay. Right. And it's not like they're never going to breed again. You just got to, you know, get them back on. And now I'm going to start doing that in the next, say, 2 to 4 weeks. So it's a little bit of a hiccup, but hey, you know, I'm back.
So what I want to know, what was the most positive thing that impacted you through your journey, like with mutation creation?
Um, just love seeing what you can create. Like, I remember, purchasing a freeway back in 2009, and what I've done with freeway and super asphalt. I'm like, oh my God, these are crazy. Like, I just made a freeway monsoon.
I remember that.
I made some crazy stuff, and it's like, wow. And I mean, this is like 15, 16 years later from when I bought my first freeway, and I'm still in the project, and I still love it, and I still see what other people are making with it. I'm just like, oh my God, look at that. So I don't even know, I'm going to butcher it, but like Nicole Lyons from Canadian Regis here in Canada, she just made, I know I'm going to butcher it. I think it's an Orange Dream Super Hurricane freeway, I believe. And I believe it's Het Clown or something like that. But the thing's ridiculous looking. I'm like, whoa, so it's like, man, like I just love seeing it. It excites me. And then there's some projects that I really want to do and see. And, like everything else, you make the ingredients and you wait and you try your shots. Oh, not this year, next year. So it's just, I just love seeing it grow, and it's never been like, the last 3 seasons, everything's been incredible. And then the last 2 seasons, everything that's made is horrible looking. It's never like that, man. It's like 95% of what's being made is blowing the year before away. And then the year before that, it's always getting to the point where I'm afraid to see shit in 5 years. Like, what the hell is that? Oh my God. It's scary. Yeah. And the thing is, there hasn't been a year where something hasn't blown someone, or a new gene mixed with something, like, what the hell? And we're finding out more allelic combinations, and we're finding out stuff, and it's just mind blowing. And it's like, how do you not want to keep creating and pushing the limits and adding genes? And there's so much stuff that I've done that if I added 2 or 3 new genes to it, I could create another 20,000 combos, which I'd never be able to make. So it's not like I'm limited, like, there's only so much you can do. There's no, you're never going to hit that bar. The bar is always being raised, and you're never going to be above it. You're always chasing it, and if you don't raise the bar, someone else is, right? So it's like, it's crazy. And it's so exciting, and it's exciting to see, all that hard work, holding stuff back, making stuff, and especially when you're like at a forefront of a project. Wow, I wonder what this is going to do. I don't know. Let's try it. So it's awesome to see what you think it might look like, and then you sort of go after it, and then when you see it, you're either surprised or like, oh my God, it's better than I thought. And then, what else would look good? And that's the thing with us. We're always, we're never happy, right? It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, I need to get this gene and this gene in it. We're always, when we work to get something, and then as soon as we get it, we're already thinking 3 steps ahead of what I'm going to do next. And that's what's crazy. It's just go, go, go.
So you find yourself holding yourself back, more holdbacks?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So, I don't know how long, but probably 5 or 6 years.
Just say yes.
And this goes back. Yeah, I hold a lot of stuff back, but this goes back to when, the crash came. Everyone's like, oh, I'm hardly going to pair anything this year. It didn't stop me. I mean, I had 170 or 150 some odd clutches because I want to make stuff, right? Even though the market's not there. So I'm going to slow down my passion and what I want to have in my collection and the animals and everything that I love about this. I'm going to stop because the market's not there. No, I'm going to create and still do it and make that stuff regardless of where the market's at. Because if I stopped and didn't do pairings for the last 2 or 3 years, I wouldn't have what I have now in my breeding racks, because, that's me. My collection keeps growing. And, now I've been making a lot of stuff, triples, quads, combo, visual double hets, visual triple hets, double visual double hets. I made some triple visuals. I want
Dang.
that stuff to grow, and then, just keep doing what I've been doing ever since I got into this.
You're making my brain hurt with all.
I know it does hurt
That's a
sometimes.
lot. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
So, but there's so many different projects and new genes. And just think, everything you're doing right now with your breeding plans, you go get a brand new gene and bring it in. Well, that just opens up so many more combinations in all your pairings and all your plans. And there's really no end, there's no limit, and what's good about it is 1 year you can do this, and then you just change the male to those females and you're in a total different direction the year after, so you're not locked in. You can do multiple things with the right animals.
Yeah. Is there a certain person you want to collaborate with?
In what regards?
For making a new, either a new morph or a new project or breeding project?
There's no one in particular. I mean, I like working with anybody that is passionate and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough question. I've never been asked that.
Okay, I got another one.
Sure, shoot.
Say there's the specific gene you want to work with.
Okay.
Hear me out. And the person that has a really negative personality, has a negative outlook on things, but he has great stuff. And
right.
you want something that he has, like for you to breed with. Would you still work with that person?
I probably wouldn't work with them, but I've had to buy animals from people that I wouldn't necessarily buy from if other people had it.
Okay.
So,
Just doing it for the project.
So like there's a few things. I know people that have done me wrong, but I know that they've done well for many other people. And I know people that have never done me wrong, and then other people they've done them wrong. It sucks. Now, if people are doing things that is negative, and they're not doing things that I really like, I don't want to really support those people. But if I'm a business and I'm a creator of if I need a gene or an animal that takes my passion and what I want to another level, I'm going to sort of look past that. But I'm not going to go out there and look and say like, oh, hi, I don't like this guy, but I'm going to keep buying animals from him. I'm only going to do that if there's no other. I'd rather pay a little more to someone else than do that. But I'm not going to let my ego go, oh, there's no way I'm buying anything from this guy if it's going to hold me back. Like, I'll swallow my pride and do that, but I'm not going to constantly be like, there's a lot of shit that goes on, and it really sucks. But I know a lot of people that have been burned from some people, and I know a lot of people, including myself, that has never been burned. So for me to listen to someone else, and that's the thing, is there's two sides to every story. Yeah. Or does it say three sides?
Three, yes.
Yeah, three. Their side, and the truth.
The
right?
truth.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. But I just sort of work with my feeling and what that person works with me. Like I know for a fact not everybody's had incredible dealings with me. I mean, I've had people where I haven't messaged them back in a week because I didn't see their email. Like, oh shit, so sorry. And it's, but you can only do so much. But
you're just one man.
Yeah. I mean, that's why like there's certain things that I don't agree with, like selling animals right out of the fucking egg, shipping animals like right out of the egg. like, you know, not getting them established.
Right.
But you know, I try not to give them business because I don't want to get an animal that's like I got to
Like
sit there
for
and feed, and you know, eventually maybe the person will wake up and say, hey, the reason why I'm not getting as many sales is because I'm selling animals too young or too soon. And maybe they'll change it and say, hey, you know, maybe, you know, I should think about the animal and you know, and the customer receiving it. And let me put some effort and some care and some food and really get this animal thriving before I put it out there to someone else to have in their collection.
Exactly.
You know?
And
Because
you
there's
know
so many people that are getting animals that are way too small, and they're not happy. And you know, some of these people are spending like thousands of dollars to buy an animal. Don't mind me. I'm just going to go into another place that's dark.
no, you're good.
this whole time I was like, he's outside, or is it?
Yeah, no, he
visible?
was outside of the building, on the side of the building.
So I'm going to go to the other side. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
So how many meals would you say for it until, you know, it is established and then you sell the snake?
I like the 120 grams and up. You know, to me, you know, the higher the you know, getting a hatchling at like 75 or 80 grams to me is shocking.
That's wild.
It's shocking.
I'm
And
not
I
gonna,
would say the majority of people who buy those snakes, you know, when they get them, they're all excited because they've spent like some good money on this, and oh my god, and they get it. It's like, holy shit, like it's almost deflating. It's like, oh my god, like it's so small. And then when it's not eating, and then you got to assist feed. The last thing you should be doing when investing into a snake is learning how to assist feed. Or if you know how to assist feed, you don't want to be doing that with your purchases. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have an established, robust, healthy animal going, wow, look at this thing. I'm so excited. And, you know, you put it in, you know, when you offer it food for the first time, it eats no problem. And you're like, wow. And you're excited that it's now in your collection. But, you know, there's so many people getting these small animals and they're not thriving. And, you know, it's really going to affect future purchases from the people that do that. So, you know,
I
That's
agree.
yeah, that's so important for newbies. When you go to a show, you want to make sure that that vendor is telling you, I can't sell a certain animal if it's underweight or if there's certain conditions. You want to make sure, like if you're going to a vendor, you want to make sure when was the last time this animal ate, what's the schedule, the feeding schedule, what's, you know, you just want to ask these questions, because a lot of people, they see the animal, it's beautiful, and like, yeah, I want this one. And then the vendor's going to be like, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is once you know what an animal, like when you go and you see a hatchling at a table, you know how big it is by the look of it, and if it's, you know, if it's been out of the egg. The only real exception, and I would make it sort of known to whoever's purchasing, like, hey, this is a 90-gram animal, but it came out as a twin, or it came out at 29 grams. It's well established. It's now 90 grams, you know, but I would let people know it came out at 29 grams and now it's, you know, 90, right? And it's been eating for like 3 months or what have you to get to that. You know, then you can, you know, that's the only way. But I mean, most of these animals come out of the egg, and you know, that they get one meal in and they're off to, you know, in a bag, in a box to someone's house, and they're just not established. And that's just my opinion, but I stand behind it.
I got an 80-gram ball python before. 80-gram.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed. Like, oh, look at my, like, you know, look at my unboxing, guys. And here's a snake from Billy. You open it up and it's like, holy fuck, look at this thing. Like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. Like, Oh,
It was
I'd be
hard.
embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed. But I'd be like, please take your unboxing video down. Like, don't show me. I'm embarrassed. Like, it
But
really would be. You know, I mean, like, it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I
Not
mean?
only, yeah, not only is it embarrassing for you, but it's ruining your reputation.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, some people just don't think the care. Oh, it's fine. I've been doing this long enough. Well, if that's your mentality, great. I mean, it won't be something I'm doing, you know, and I guess that's just where it is. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, people do things the way, and, you know, they take care of their animals, they breed, they feed, you know, a certain way, and they run their business a certain way. Who am I to say anything different? All I know is I don't think an animal should be shipped if it's not over 100 grams minimum. But I would be closer to the 120 where it's got like, you know, 5-6 good meals in, right?
and it was
Maybe
hard to get established.
maybe
I'm not gonna lie. It was
so.
hard because they wouldn't eat at first. I would have to force feed it.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. It happens quite a bit. And you know what? It leaves a sour taste in your customer's
Mhm.
mouth.
Yeah.
Like I would rather sell you a snake that's 150 grams and it doesn't eat, you know what I mean, than a 60, 70 gram that doesn't eat, because at least that animal, I know, oh, don't worry, you know, wait for 2 or 3, keep trying different things. I know it's eaten and it's healthy, and I know it can survive, you know. But if you send a 60, 70 gram steak and it's not eating,
Yeah.
that animal doesn't have a lot of, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It doesn't have any establishment for it, you know, or any fat reserves to sit back on. You know, that animal needs to freaking eat ASAP,
Exactly.
you know? So it's
Now,
crazy.
knowing what you know now, would you do anything different, Billy? Like from when you started all the way to now? Would you change anything?
Yeah, I think I would.
Question.
There's a lot of things like, you know, there was no manual from when I started to get to where I'm at now. Um, you know, I didn't really have a mentor. There wasn't really Patreons. There wasn't really, you know, maybe the last 10 years or you know, or less, where we've actually had a very knowledgeable, shared, um, a lot of information and education on these animals and what to do and how to do it. Um, I did a lot of things trial and error. Um, and even now, like a mistake, that's not a mistake. I mean, I don't regret it, but I put a lot of money into a building, making it look amazing, glass walls, redoing everything, paint, plumbing, amazing floors, drains in the floor, all the fancy stuff. And the snakes don't give a shit about it. You know what I mean? It was just, you know what I mean? Like, um, you know, the snakes in my facility and the snakes in your basement, if it's unfinished, they're in the racks. You know what I mean? They don't care what the outside looks like. I wish I invested that money differently, like into more animals or something else. But at the same time, too, you know, I feel proud. You walk in, I'm like, wow, look at this place. There wasn't the day I walked in, I'm like, man, this sucks. Like, I really put too much money into this place. Like, I enjoyed it, you know. It was great. And I don't regret it, but you know, I've thrown money at different things that knowing now, it's like, you know what, I wish I didn't do that. Or like, you know, just because I had it doesn't mean you have to spend it. But I don't regret it. I just, now it's like, you know what, I know what it does and it's a great feeling. And you know, it was amazing. Now I get to do things a little differently. I don't have to have all the fancy colored walls and glass rooms. And, you know, I'm just doing things a little differently and smarter. But I'm not unhappy that I did it. It's just now I've learned from it, right? And if people ask me, like even in the future, people are growing. It's like, hey, Billy, you know, I think about doing this. Do you have any advice? Yeah, there's lots. Watch out for this. Don't do this. Look at this. I've been there, you know, and you know, I can help people that are going to another level, and I can tell them what to watch out for as well. And you know, because I've been there. And it's not just been like a, constant, nice rise. It's been up and then down and then up, and it's been like a little bit of a roller coaster, right? And not everything you do is going to have like positive effects, right? So you got to do something and see what happens and fix or change the things around you that aren't doing well, right? Like, oh, I did this and now this isn't working. Okay, like, let's fix it or let's put it back to normal. But I can give advice on a lot of things, and my experience and what I've done with my business and my personal life and everything else. I know what it takes. I haven't had a personal life really, because it's all been animals. So I've seen so many people break up, because their passion. And I've seen, people grow together, and then, now there's conflict. Now they're taking their portion of their snakes here. They're taking their snakes here, and they're dividing. And then there's other people that are like, hey, this is getting too much. It's either me or the snakes, Wow. Now there's, you know what I mean? Ultimatums and, oh my God.
They have a war.
I've seen it all. Right. And, it's there. Like, I mean, it does happen. And I've mentored people, and they've called me. It's like, hey, I know that this happened to you, and I'm in this sort of same situation. And I'm like, hey, man, I can't really make the choice for you, but I know where you're at, and I know how it feels because I've been there. This is what I did. And, it was successful for me, I mean, where I've taken, my business and where I've come from like 12, 13, 14 years ago when I lost everything and was homeless. Now look where I'm at, some people, I mean, I could have went and drank myself and, this sucks. I'm getting out of the snakes. I'm not starting over, oh, the world sucks, and poor me, and drink away and drown my sorrows. And, I didn't, right? But some people do that. And
that's true.
I put my head to the ground and did what I had to do to get to where I'm at. And it's a choice you got to make, but I understand where you're coming from. And it's not easy. Like, I mean, even now with the market the last few years, it's not easy. That's one reason for my downsize is, instead of paying rent, and my rent was going to go up, I found a place, a few hours away. And, my expenses are cut in half,
Yeah. If you could give someone advice who wants to start but doesn't know where to start with the ball pythons, like either they have it and they want to start breeding, what advice would you give them?
Well, there's a lot. So depends what they want to do, right? Like, I mean, time, space, and the magic M, money, all three of those. You can't, if you got money and that's it, you don't got time or space,
it's not going to work.
Screwed. And if you got space and no time and money, you're sort of screwed. If you've got, the time and no space and money, you're screwed. You really need 2 or 3 of everything. It depends what you want to do, right? Like, do you want to turn this into a full-time business one day? Is it even possible now where the market is, without investing a lot of money? One thing is, if you're getting into this, I would definitely go and continue to learn and have a mentor, a Patreon, be involved in the community, be around local breeders so that you can bang ideas off of or see what they do and get any sort of knowledge or tips of it's a little ATV.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's ATVs and stuff. It's pretty cool. I think I might have to get one. That's one of my things for next year, maybe.
And do a live on that. That'd be sick.
Yeah, do a live around. Yeah, but you really want to have everything planned. Focus projects. You really want to understand, the focus projects and really take those projects to other levels and keep adding to those to make them bigger instead of just keep adding new stuff. I'd rather be building vertically than linear, But I got all these different projects. Yeah, but they're so weak. They're not really going anywhere. You're always falling behind. I'd rather have 2 or 3 projects that keep moving and growing. And then you can always add another one and have that grow. You know, the more projects you're in, the harder it is to, you know, to hit all the animals. The more you're going to have to buy animals to fill the voids that you don't hit, to keep those projects moving at a decent pace. But, you know, first of all, you want to learn, get the experience, and breed what you like. I see people getting into projects because it's hyped, and they don't even enjoy the animal or the gene. And you've got to look at these animals for years before they even breed. Like, you should be opening the tub and going, "Wow, I can't believe I own this snake. I love this. Look at this thing, crazy." You know, it's funny. I mean, you know, make and own stuff that you enjoy. You know, I mean, there's no sense cutting an egg. Oh yeah, another sunset clown. Like, you know, I mean, I wouldn't have sunset clown. Woohoo! You know?
Yeah.
You know, I hit a freeway clown. I'm fucking monsoon clown. I'm jumping around like a yo-yo because I love it. You want to be able to create stuff and push that project to another level that you enjoy. You know, you don't want to be sitting there creating stuff because another person likes it. Wow, I made this. He's going to be so proud of me. He don't care. He's got 20 of them himself. You know, you should be proud and pushing your projects forward of what you like based on what you enjoy, not other people.
Fact. And I did that mistake, Billy, because I was doing the ball pythons first, and I got to the point where you're like, oh, I opened my tub and I was like, I'm not filling these balls no more, like these ball pythons no more, you know. So I went and I got into retics, and I fell in love with retics, and then the rat snakes. Now I'm working with retics and rat snakes, sand bulls, you know, other stuff. Now I'm getting away from ball python. I do have some, just pied. I like the pied.
Yeah,
I love pieds. I will always love pieds, but that's about it.
Yeah, you definitely want to enjoy what you're working with, right? Like, there's no set. Like, if you don't enjoy what you have, how can you take it and add other genetics to it? You know, where's your creativity coming from? Oh, this guy made something I like, so I'm going to do that. So you're basically just going to create what other people are doing and having no internal excitement. Like, you know, it's just, oh, I made one of these. Well, if you don't, you know, if it's not something you need or want, why'd you make it? Like, I'm making stuff that I like so that it actually helps my collection and my projects go to another level down the road. So,
and I also feel too though, like when people do start coming in with ball pythons, they're like, oh, look at this, but people are like, oh, there's something way better than that. Look over here.
Sammy,
you know?
Yeah. He was calling me.
Oh,
What?
for the other show, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, Sammy.
So you guys can keep talking. I'm gonna hop off. Yeah.
Bye, cat.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, ooh, that was weird. Okay. Billy, it was a pleasure, Billy. It was
enjoy. It was nice meeting you.
Yes. Okay.
I was like, we were about to wrap it up anyway.
Oh, okay, so I'll stay.
Yeah, it was like only an hour.
Yeah.
Like, I know we go over an hour, people don't like stay here long enough because there's other shows going on too. So
there always is. That's another thing too. There's so much, and that's the thing. There's so many people that are putting out content and different things and different species that, you know, before it was like, oh my God, please be a show on, or please be some information that I can listen to. Now there's so much of it that you get to pick and choose what you want and when you want to see it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good, right? You know, and that's what's great. When there's multiple choices, you get to choose, or I'm not interested in any. I don't want to watch any. That's great. But it's there if you want. It's also recorded so you can watch it, you know, later on. And it's just information and hopefully positivity and you know, guidance of some sort that is on the internet for someone today, tomorrow, or 5 years down the road to watch, to find, and to absorb. And I think that's what's great. And us sharing information and putting out experience or beliefs or opinions I think it's much needed, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I agree. Big facts. But before we get on out of here, brother, since we only have like 5 minutes and Kat has to go,
Yeah.
can you say a positive message for everybody watching?
Yeah, I mean, the way everything is right now is the diversity, there's just so much. And I just think that, like, whatever your belief is, whatever the genes you like, whatever ways you like to do things, to an extent, like, it's funny because I'm like, you know what, you shouldn't sell an animal under 80 grams. I'll never do it. Well, I just don't think it's great because the animal, I think it stresses it out, and it shows when that animal isn't eating for that new person, and that new person is expecting something established. But that's just my opinion. And if people don't like me for that opinion, then hey, guess what? But it's my opinion. It's what I believe. And if you believe selling animals right out of the egg is good, then you believe that. But we'll just see who's around longer. But I just think that no matter what, we're here to talk, to listen about snakes, animals, be together in a network, in our industry, in our community. I don't care who you voted for, where you live, what your religion is, what your preferences are. I really don't care. What genes you like, oh, you like sunset? I don't like it at all. Well, I don't like puzzle. I don't like this. Oh, I like ultramel. You like monarch? I can't talk to you. We shouldn't have all this, this diversity. And like let's no, you can't do that. Oh, you're a Trump supporter. I can't talk to you. You don't like Trump. I can't talk to you.
Hi, Mike.
We should just work as a community, regardless of everything else. And if you don't got nothing good to say, shut the fuck up. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a platform, right? I have a platform, my channel, my content. I say what I believe. I stand behind it. You don't like it, I'm not fucking forcing you to watch, but I ain't going to sit there and say shit. Oh, I better say stuff to make everybody happy. Fuck that. I say shit how I feel, what I believe. And if you don't like it and you want to, don't come on my channel crying and open up your own, put in the time, and you have your own platform for your own voice and put your own opinions out there, but they're too chicken shit. So, and then they'll just chirp in the background and, it's how I feel, right?
I love it because this is what this show's about. That's what it's about. Being real.
Being real.
And you know what? I mean, who cares? We're all here about the animals and to learn and to help each other grow and learn and experience. And I'm still learning in this industry that I've been in for 25 plus years. I'm still learning. There's still new stuff coming out, but we should be there to support and help each other, regardless of all the other stuff. Like, do I care what you do when we're not on this live stream? I don't. Oh, you know what? He doesn't like Trump. He didn't vote for Trump. Oh my God, he's a lefty. Oh my God, like, doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. We're talking about snakes, and I don't really care what you do on your private life when the show's over, or when I'm not at a show, or I just want us all to get along and enjoy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Share the knowledge, share the experience, share the happiness, share the inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to say than it is to actually do. But we're all going to have opinions. We're all not going to get along. We're all not going to have the same ideas and the same. But guess what? Who cares about it?
That was awesome.
Yeah, I like that. That was awesome. That was a great answer.
And another thing too is, like, if you're a Trump supporter, great. I just don't want to see it on every of your second posts. Like, cool, you're a Trump supporter, great. I don't need it drilled down my throat.
Right.
Oh, you believe in this movement, great. I don't want to see it drilled down my throat. I get it. Hey, I believe in this, great. I don't want to hear it every 10 fucking minutes, every day, every other day. Like, I get it. Your message, noted. I don't need to see it. Like, Just simple. Enjoy yourself, enjoy the animals, enjoy the process, enjoy the growth, enjoy the community. And that's it. That's it.
Fact.
Bam.
Hi, Josh.
For real.
Hey.
Well,
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
no problem, Billy. I would like for you to come on for a part 2, but that'd be
Anytime,
later on.
man. Part 2, part 3, you know, hell.
Hell yeah, because
Oh,
I
down,
think
you
we
know?
still have a lot to talk about, but I want to let Kat do her other show.
Sure.
I did have a question for part 2, so that way you can have it in your mind.
Boom.
It's if you could open a mutation creation facility in 3 major cities, which ones would they be?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Hmm.
Yeah, see? Till next time.
Hell yeah, stay tuned, guys. Part 2.
Dun dun dun.
All right, y'all have a good night, guys. I appreciate y'all
everybody.
being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. If
Have
you're
a
not
good live
following,
later, Pat.
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, I'm gonna go watch her too right now.
Be good.
But thank you, Billy. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your time. As always, appreciate you coming on and being here.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Have an amazing weekend.
Y'all have a good night, everybody. We're out of here.